A child declared dead not once but 3 times miraculously returns to life. But when he opens his eyes, he doesn't just get a second chance at life. He brings with him a message so profound that it feels like it comes from somewhere beyond our earthly reality. This is the incredible story of Landon Whitley, a boy who ventured to the very edge between life and death, crossed into the unknown, and returned with an urgent message that could change everything we believe. Landon claims to have seen Jesus, and what he was told is something you need to hear, especially if you've ever wondered about life after death or what happens when we close our eyes for the last time. This story could be the answer you've been searching for. So buckle up for a journey that defies logic, shatters doubts, and takes you straight to the heart of a divine mystery. Before we dive into this story, make sure you're subscribed to Scripture Wisdom and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more incredible stories like this. Now let's begin. On an ordinary Sunday in 1997, Landon's life and the lives of his family were about to change forever. Like many families, the Whitleys enjoyed their weekends with a peaceful routine: church in the morning, a quiet lunch at home, and a relaxing afternoon together. But on this Sunday, their routine was shattered. Julie Whitley, Landon's mother, and her husband Andy were driving with Landon in the back seat when an ambulance raced toward an intersection. They had no time to react. The crash was catastrophic, and in an instant, their peaceful day turned into a nightmare. Landon, only a child, was unresponsive, not breathing, and tragically, he was declared clinically dead. The medical team worked relentlessly to save him, but despite their best efforts, Landon's heart stopped beating. At that moment, Julie, trapped by her injuries, received the devastating news of her husband's death. But through her grief, she clung to one hope: her son might still survive. In the operating room, Landon's struggle continued. His heart stopped twice more, and each time doctors managed to revive him. It was as if Landon was being pulled towards something beyond this world. Julie, desperate and praying fervently, could hardly believe what was happening. Doctors warned Julie that if Landon did survive, he would likely suffer irreversible brain damage. The odds were grim, but Julie couldn't give up. She believed that her son's spirit was stronger than his body, and that if Landon was meant to return, he would do so whole. Days turned into weeks, and Landon remained in a coma, but during this time something incredible happened. Landon's spirit, though his body lay motionless, ventured into a place beyond human comprehension: heaven. Landon would later describe his experience as being unlike anything on earth. He felt his spirit rise, leaving his body behind, and was transported to a realm that seemed more real than anything he had ever known. The place was peaceful and beautiful, with pathways paved in gold, soft air filled with love, and a light that radiated from everywhere. It was as if the very environment was made of light. As Landon walked, he saw figures bathed in a golden glow. Some he didn't recognize, but he felt a deep connection to them. These were relatives who had passed long before his birth. Among them were 2 children, smiling and welcoming him with open arms. They were his siblings who had passed before he was born, something his parents had never told him about. Then a figure appeared. His light was brighter, warmer, and more intense than anything else in the place. Landon instantly recognized him. It was Jesus. Without a word, Jesus conveyed a message directly to Landon's soul. It wasn't his time yet. He had to return to Earth, as there was a mission waiting for him. Landon's mission was to spread the message that heaven is real, life doesn't end with death, and each person has a divine purpose. Although Landon didn't want to leave the peace of heaven, he understood that his mission on Earth was more important. With a sense of sacrifice, he was pushed back through a tunnel of light and warmth, and in an instant, he returned to the hospital room, back to his body. When Landon opened his eyes, the medical team was astonished. After being declared dead 3 times, he was alive. But the most miraculous part? He was fully conscious and had no signs of brain damage or memory loss. Landon was not only alive, he was the same child he had been before the accident, except something was different. He now carried within him a sense of peace, maturity, and clarity that went beyond his years. Landon's recovery stunned everyone. from his doctors to his mother, Julie. But what truly left them speechless were the details Landon described about his experience. He spoke of heaven with certainty, describing the golden paths, the light, and the loving figures he had encountered. Most notably, he mentioned two children, his siblings, whom he had never met in this life, but described in vivid detail. Landon's story was not just a near-death experience. It was a divine revelation. Landon shared with his mother that Jesus had told him to tell people that heaven is real and that each of us has a purpose. His voice, full of conviction, carried a weight that went beyond simple words. Julie knew in her heart that this was the message her son had returned to share. Landon's miraculous return and his message spread quickly. People came from all over to hear his story. Some sought comfort, others sought answers, but all were moved by the certainty and love that radiated from Landon's words. His message was simple yet powerful. Heaven is real. Life doesn't end here, and we all have a divine purpose. Landon's life was changed by his experience, but so were the lives of those who heard his story. His words touched hearts, and many found hope and comfort in the belief that death is not the end, but a transition to something greater. Landon Whitley's story is a testament to the power of faith, hope, and divine purpose. His miraculous return from the edge of death brought with it a message that challenges our understanding of life and death. Heaven is real, and we all have a purpose here on earth. If you've ever wondered about the afterlife or questioned the purpose of your own life, let Landon's story serve as a reminder that we are all part of something much greater than ourselves. Each of us has a unique mission to fulfill, and our lives have a purpose that goes beyond what we can see or understand. If this video has inspired or touched you, please like, share, and subscribe to Scripture Wisdom for more stories of faith, hope, and divine truth. Thank you for watching, and remember, heaven is real, and you are here for a reason.